DeMarcus Cousins is one of the most controversial players in the NBA today. For the first 7 years of his career, every night he took the court, we never really knew what we were going to get. Would we watch as Boogie's temper got the best of him and he was ejected from the game? Or would we find the elite DeMarcus who bullied his opponents and could put up 40 points with ease? Like I said, game in and game out, we never knew what we were really going to get. But this season, that's all changed. Right now, even the biggest DeMarcus Cousins hater has to admit that he's in the MVP discussion this season. And playing for the Pelicans, DeMarcus has confirmed what I've thought for a long time. If he finally got away from the Kings, if he finally had an okay coach and some good teammates around him, then DeMarcus would prove that he is one of the best players in the NBA and you can build a playoff contender around him. So for today's video, guys, I want to remind you how historic Boogie Cousins has been so far in his career, and I want to show you what's changed and why the NBA should be scared of a prime Boogie Cousins. But before we get to the video, guys, I do want to say we are having another DraftKings contest. The winner of the last contest was Chance225318, so congrats, Chance. And for today's video, guys, we are again doing a one-day contest tomorrow, which means you have until 7:30 p.m. Eastern to sign up. In my contest this time, there are $1,350 worth of possible prizes, and the top winners will receive any free basketball jersey of their choice. Plus, for anyone who doesn't win but did enter the contest, post your DraftKings username in the comments below, and I'm going to pick an extra winner to win a free jersey from those comments. Joining this contest is easy. All you have to do is deposit $5 into DraftKings. Then my personal contest is completely free. And if you haven't played DraftKings before, playing DraftKings is very simple too. All you have to do is pick a player from each tier. Then with your lineup complete, you just sit back, watch as your players earn points for you, and hopefully you earn enough points to come out on top. So if you want a chance to beat me, win free prizes, and possibly win a free NBA jersey, just go click on the DraftKings link down below and sign up before 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Good luck, and now let's talk about DeMarcus Cousins. Stars in the NBA have always known just how good DeMarcus Cousins is. Draymond Green has said he's incredible. I think DeMarcus is the best center in the game. Anthony Davis has said DeMarcus is an elite player in this league. And LeBron has even said Big Cuz is the best big man in our game. So you can see it's obvious that NBA players have a certain respect for the talent that DeMarcus Cousins has. And going even further, throughout the first 7 years of his NBA career, statistically, DeMarcus Cousins has proven to be one of the best big men of all time, which I understand is a pretty out there thing to say. I mean, the best big men of all time have all won multiple MVP trophies and multiple NBA championships, so DeMarcus doesn't seem like he fits in at all. But again, just going by stats here, Boogie does belong in the elite tier of big men, because when looking at his first 7 seasons, we find that DeMarcus has been absolutely dominant, becoming one of just 4 players in NBA history to average at least 21 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game in his first 7 seasons. The other 3 players on that list are Hall of Famers Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, and David Robinson. Again, Boogie has been elite, and recently he's only gotten better as he's become the ideal version of a modern NBA center. Last year, we saw Cuz become more of a playmaker and more of a 3-point bomber, and it paid off big time as he averaged over 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game while making over 1.5 threes a night. This type of versatility in an NBA center is extremely rare. In fact, DeMarcus is the only player to ever average at least 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game in a single season. And you'll notice that those numbers don't even include his 3-point shooting. So statistically, not only has DeMarcus become an elite center in his career so far, he also put up an absolutely historic season last year. But with that said, nobody really thinks of DeMarcus as a historic player, especially the media, as DeMarcus wasn't even an All-NBA third-team selection last year, which does look bad. But the reason for that, and the reason that nobody has really been paying attention to DeMarcus Cousins in general, is that his teams have always been awful. In his first 7 seasons, the Kings have failed to put any sort of talent around DeMarcus, as they have made mistake after mistake in the draft and in free agency. Because of this severe lack of talent around their star, Sacramento never made the playoffs with DeMarcus, and even worse, they never won more than 33 games. Many have blamed this lack of success on Boogie himself, but again, the Kings front office was incompetent, and if anything, the fact that DeMarcus stayed with Sacramento throughout all of these losses and didn't complain should show you the type of person he really is. The man is hardworking, as demonstrated by his extreme improvements in talent, and he's loyal to perhaps a fault. In fact, he was so loyal that when looking back at his time in Sacramento, DeMarcus questions why he never thought to leave earlier, as he since said, "When you come in, you know it's a business. How are you going to be loyal to something that hasn't been loyal to any player that's ever played this game? I was a fool." Now, DeMarcus Cousins calls himself a fool, but I don't think he's a fool. Again, I know a lot of people think he's a hothead, but personally, I think he's a good guy, and I definitely think he's loyal. I also think that in Sacramento, he got a bad rep as a good player who puts up great stats, but they were empty stats and didn't lead to winning. I think right now, what DeMarcus Cousins wants above all else is to win. So we've already talked about how historically, DeMarcus Cousins has proven to be a special player in the NBA. But the obvious counter to that is, if he's so good, why has he never played in the playoffs? If he really is this dominant big man, why can't he lead his team to wins? Well, for starters, it's very likely that in the early parts of his career, Cousins' attitude did hold his team back. Known as a hothead who was just as likely to explode at a teammate as he was to yell at a ref, nobody really liked playing basketball with a young Boogie, and the results showed that. But in his last few years in Sacramento, DeMarcus did change. He did become more of a leader, and he did become more of a team player. The only problem was, nobody seemed to care. People had already made up their minds on who DeMarcus Cousins was as a basketball player and as a person when he was in Sacramento. This meant he needed a fresh start to make things right. And a fresh start is exactly what he's gotten so far as a New Orleans Pelican. Yes, he's having yet another incredible season, averaging a ridiculous 25.5 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. But what's most important about this season is that finally, on a new team with a superstar teammate, people have begun to realize just how much DeMarcus Cousins wants to win and just how valuable he can be to a championship contender. What Boogie had been missing throughout his career were coaches and teammates he could really respect. With the Pelicans, he finally has that, especially when it comes to the players he's playing with. As DeMarcus himself has said, one thing about this team, which is something I appreciate, is that we all hold each other accountable. We are not scared to tell each other the truth. If I'm doing something wrong, Anthony, Drew, Rondo, Dante, they'll all be like, "Yo, you need to get your shit together." I see AD doing something wrong, I'll say, "AD, get your shit together." This is very important. The fact that he finally has teammates who can hold him in check has been an absolute game changer for DeMarcus. With this, DeMarcus has finally been able to let go of the little things and zero in on one goal: to win basketball games. We need to remember that this is just the first full season of the AD and Cousins experiment. The two have played in less than 40 games together so far. Chemistry takes time to develop, but already we have seen games where the Pelicans with AD and Cousins just look downright scary and impossible to guard. The flashes of greatness are there, and despite some injuries to key players such as Rajon Rondo, the talent of AD and DeMarcus has the Pelicans sitting as the 7th seed in the West this season. And sure, there is a big gap from 7th seed to championship contender, but the Pelicans are still an incomplete team. If New Orleans can somehow improve its guard play, if they can add more depth and more shooters on the wing, the sky really could be the limit here. Because yes, the Golden State Warriors have basically looked unstoppable, but their biggest weakness has always been trying to guard dominant big men. In fact, that's a weakness of a lot of the top teams in the NBA right now. Recently, the league has been all about small ball, and so top teams have really struggled to guard a big-time center. And wouldn't you know it, the Pelicans just so happen to have 2 dominant big men who are also versatile and have skills that complement each other perfectly. When playing together, DeMarcus has proven to be more of a playmaker and outside shooter, while AD has given the team the defensive force it needs inside. At their best, both of these guys are top 10 players in the league, which means, again, New Orleans should be a legitimate championship contender. Unfortunately, though, aside from DeMarcus and AD, the Pelicans roster is full of holes. And yes, right now, that's still the biggest problem in DeMarcus Cousins' career. His team is better, and now he has a top 10 player in the NBA as his teammate, but the Pelicans are still full of holes. Why were they not able to get somewhat of a better team? Why? These holes are definitely unfortunate for DeMarcus, but for NBA fans, they're actually kind of great because, again, DeMarcus and Anthony Davis still haven't played a whole lot together. So this season, we're gonna see if the two can work together, and we're gonna see just how far they can go as a superstar duo. But if it doesn't work, that means DeMarcus Cousins is going to be a free agent this summer. Or maybe he'll get traded at the deadline, who knows? All I know is that if DeMarcus Cousins does get traded, or if he does sign somewhere else, he is going to be a game changer in this NBA. And if he signs with the Wizards and pairs with John Wall, that is just going to be awesome. So yeah, we just lived through the greatest free agency of all time last summer, but this summer could be pretty great too. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. We have What If LeBron James Went to College coming this Saturday. This Saturday, guys, new What If. It took me like a month to do. It was very long. So I really hope you guys are gonna like it, and to everyone who's already subscribed, thank you guys so much for supporting. You are awesome, you know this, and as always, have an awesome day, and cue that music.